Okay, so the Detroit Lions are in fill out your roster mode. Like that's what they're doing right now. I think we talked about it on the show, but there are now 68 players of the 90 that can be active. And what we talked about, or at least what I was thinking about, was all right, where are we going to get these players? What does it look like? All right. So in this video, we're going to talk about 3 players that the Detroit Lions have signed slash re-signed. We're going to talk about which one you like the most and kind of what they could bring. We're also going to talk about why these are smart moves and what effect, if any effect, they have on the salary cap and things like that. So let's kind of get into this just a little bit and see what kind of players we're getting. No, these aren't the big name players. But again, I would like to remind everyone, and I just keep telling myself this because I think everybody wants us to be big spenders. We actually made a splash signing. It was DJ Reed. And I'm going to probably do a video tomorrow talking about DJ Reed. But at the same time, and the value of that contract, we made a big signing, but I think everybody wants another one. I think it just didn't happen at the position they wanted. I think they wanted it at edge or maybe interior offensive line. That's not necessarily what this team needed the most. And you have to understand that next year we are already tied up with our salary cap. So we need to be careful this year. If we don't spend a ton of money this year, that salary cap rolls into next year, which gives us even more money. So you're going to see a lot of smart signings. Now, I could be wrong. We could end up with another big signing that I'm not currently thinking of, but I don't know. Right now, we still have, according to Spot Track or Spo Track, we still have 50 million in cap. Now, the DJ Reed one hasn't been put on there, so we don't know exactly what his cap hit is going to be this year. So it could actually be more than that, but we'll look into that. So let's look at these signings that the Lions have got and re-signings, and we'll kind of go from there. First one, I'm not going to spend too much time on. It's Mitchell Agude. I don't know if you remember him. This is a guy that played sparingly for us last year. When he did play, he played mostly on special teams. But in preseason and in training camp, he did impress. He did impress at that Sam position, which the Detroit Lions asked that Sam position to do a lot. It remains to be seen how much different they'll ask that Sam position to do under our new defensive coordinator. But this is a guy who did impress in that. Sure, you have Derek Barnes, who you just brought back. You have Trevor Nowaski, but he was somebody who, at least as a young player, did impress. All right. He came out, it was 2023. He's still a young player. It's not a bad move, I don't think at all. All right. The next one, I will admit, I'm actually a little bit more excited about, and I don't know why. I don't know why, but I continue to be excited about Shane Zylstra. It makes no sense to me. He's a tight end, all right? And as it says here, the Detroit Lions continue to take care of their own in free agency. Per his agency, tight end Shane Zylstra has agreed to re-sign with the Lions for 2025. There are no contract terms available at this time. All right, he's 28 years old. All right, he has always been known as a receiving threat as a tight end. That is what he has been. He has been often injured. All right, all we have right now is Sam Laporta, Brock Wright, and recently signed Kenny Yaboa. So we are just once again choosing to run it back with our tight end room. Here's a question. When you've been here with Detroit, have you ever thought to yourself, oh man, you know what? Here's the struggle as tight end. Yeah, we need better tight ends under the Brad Holmes era. I haven't. That's never been a thought for me. So it would make sense to continue to run this room back over and over again, especially if you can continue to get them back at an inexpensive price. Here's the thing that's interesting to me. With Shane Zylstra, we always look at what can he do. This is a guy, remember, converted wide receiver and into playing tight end. Yes, he absolutely is going to play on the offensive side of things, but the best grades that he actually gives, I know this sounds crazy, are on special teams, right? He is on average PFF. He played 215 special team snaps last year. That's a lot of special team snaps for only starting to play in week 7 because of injury. 215 special teams, or sorry, yeah, um, yeah, 215 special team snaps. He got a 78.3, which means that he is a good to great special teams player. So if he can be helpful in the tight end room, but great on special teams, now all of a sudden you're looking at something. Remember the Detroit Lions teams of the past where, yeah, maybe we'd have a great return man, and maybe every once a year there'd be a touchdown return for a touchdown off a punt or a kick or something like that. But also we would give up special teams touchdowns. We didn't have great special teams because we didn't have great depth. This regime values special teams. They absolutely value special teams. And so when I'm looking at that, and I think a lot of people kind of say, "Oh my goodness, like how much can you possibly have on this guy?" Right? Like how much can you keep going? Like we have how many linebackers? Like 7 now, and every one of them it seems like we're saying great special teams player, great special teams player. We forget how important of a role special teams play. When was the last time we got a return for a touchdown? Can't remember. When was the last time a team had a big return on us? Period. I can't remember. When was the last time we had a field goal blocked? I can't remember. When was the last time we had a punt blocked? I can't remember. These are things that swing the game. In special teams, if you make a critical error, you may as well be having a turnover. You may as well have a turnover. And then you can talk to Chris, who also is on this channel, that talks about turnovers and how they swing, a scoop and score, a pick six. Like those are the kind of things. All right. There, I said there's 3 signings. Let's talk about the last one. This one I think some of you will like. It is Patrick O'Connor. All right. He is the undersized defensive interior. He doesn't necessarily play undersized. He started playing for us last year, and I think a lot of us were pleasantly surprised with some of the production he started to have. There were inconsistencies. All right, he played a good game at Houston. He played a good game at Buffalo or against Buffalo, at San Francisco, but there were also games in there where he didn't play super well. All right, this is a guy out of Eastern Michigan. It doesn't hurt to bring him back. When I look at what we already have on the defensive interior, I'm pretty happy. This is a depth piece. This is I'm going to try and make the roster, but I'll probably make the practice squad piece, and I can come in and I can play if somebody gets hurt, right? We have Aleem McNeil. I know he was hurt. We have DJ Reader. We re-signed Levi Onwuzurike. All right. We brought in a defensive tackle. All right. That is going to play the same type of role as DJ Reader plays. And we got Wingo. So, like, we have guys, we now have what might be the best defensive interior in the NFL, if I can be completely honest. So it's good to have depth behind it, just in case some of those guys aren't ready to go because of injury, or in case it happens. You never know when injury will strike in the NFL. All right, thanks for watching. I think these are just 3 good, smart moves. See you on the next one.